I'm in the house again. Okay. So I'm basically just going to go over how to basically like quote unquote register assets into the program. So in programming, like there's more than just one way of doing things. So I've just made a more like how do I say this like foolproof method, but it's a little bit more complicated to basically load in like assets which are like include things like sound effects, music, all those kind of stuff that basically just like if you can put it into a file, it's pretty much an asset. In the IO, I have this enumeration of these assets. So while you could technically just pretty much like just say, oh, I'm just going to use this all the time, but sometimes you might misspell things, and this is just a more foolproof way. But it does add some more complexity since you will have to call basically dog assets dot whatever asset yours dot file name. So if we go to find some reference in the project, let's see, there's some, see here. So you need to call the dot file name. So other than assets, I will also be going over not how to create the screens because that's a little bit complicated. But I will make a video if we do need to eventually create some kind of screen. But basically how to use screens and the stage that's inside them. So the stage is basically just has a bunch of actors, and that's pretty intuitive, right? Like, so you have like this stage, and then you fill it with actors, and then basically I've created a child class or basically a subclass of the of an actor in the game objects class. Okay, here we go. Hierarchical, right? I like that a bit better because then like I can just it makes more sense to me. So, anyways, I create a game object here, and not everything here is an actor. So, for example, there's the physics world. The only reason why I put the physics world here is because of some methods that need to be implemented over all the physics worlds, so that basically it runs smoothly. But also the fact that I wanted to, even though this makes it more complex, I wanted to basically allow for just like separation of the code. So I just wanted, for example, in the main survival world where like you have all the cars going, I wanted that to be more to be confined in a class rather than just spread over a place. So this class is just for the physics, and the screen is mainly just for like showing textures and handling inputs basically. Yeah, pretty much. The game object will be able to draw itself and handle inputs. So other than that, I'll also be going over how to modify each screen and like add fields and global variables and all that fun stuff. So yeah, let's get started. So usually I just go and Google like free images so I don't get sued. Okay, so now that we have these things, I'm going to drag them into Eclipse. Okay, now I'm going to rename this so just so that it's easier for me to find it. Let's just call it like pause.png. Okay, and now we can say something like go to the doc assets, and this is where we start registering things, and we can say like pause image, and then placeholder slash exclude no pause.png. Sometimes I'm reading other things and then I get distracted. Okay, I did something wrong. Oh, here we go. There we go. Yeah, don't forget to add the extra comma. I always forget that. Oh well, I'm just gonna keep it consistent. So these are actually fonts, but these aren't actually the font path. Like as you can see, that I don't actually have a like Comic Sans 40. That's because it's treated really weirdly, and with the free type thing that I got, there's like extensions to the libgdx library. And if you go to the dog runner, you can see there's like free type load parameters. So this actually doesn't take any folders. I've tried to like put this in placeholder folder, and it screwed me up for such a long time. It basically was like 1 hour of debugging, and I just realized I could just drag it out and it would work. So basically, I can only reference the root file name. It has to be directly in the okay okay, so yeah, now we have pause image, but we have to load it in. So this is just the file name basically, and you can reference pause image.file name anytime you want for convenience. So if I go to dog runner, and here's where I load stuff, so I can do here, and I can be like asset manager dot load dog assets. Come on, yes, come on, no. Why are you backfiring? Yeah, there we go. See that magic trick and put space right there? Amazing. Okay. All right. Let's see. So what are these word completion things? I feel like as if I broke something by saying yes to that. Like, have you ever done that before? Like, you just say yes by accident, but then you're like, wait, I didn't read it. Yeah, that's worse. But I don't think it will be any problem. Pause image. All right. So now we want to actually place this pause button somewhere, right? So now see we have the pause button. By the way, to create a class, you just go to new class, and then you extends game object, and then you just have to put in everything. So basically, you want to reference the game object class, and it's pretty useful. So this collision will actually be able to identify like a circle kind of, and then I think that I'm going to make the pause button, but it's going to be really small. So even if I make the pause button as a square, which I'm like lazy, like no one's really going to notice. I know it's really lazy, but no one's going to notice that. Because like your thumb is going to be bigger than it, so it's like the accuracy is going to not really matter when you minimize it down onto like an Android. So yeah, as you can see, there's a clicked method, and you don't have to worry about this class. I coded myself, and basically it's like a callback. So that's how the click works. So so first of all, obviously we need to draw stuff, and that actually comes from the actor. So you won't be able to find it in the game object, but it's actually literally draw. So annotations I hear are good practices. I don't know, but whatever. I think void, right? Draw, batch, batch. Is that how it is? I can't remember if that's how it worked. All right, and then I need the float parent alpha. But if you ever need any help, I believe in the game objects there is a test object here, and as you can see there is this, and there's also act. So act is when you want to like, I don't know, maybe like, so like in Donut Clicker we had like this auto clicker, so every single like certain amount of time it would need to click itself, and that's something that you could do with act. So for the draw you basically just draw really, and you would, this is the general format you would do, and don't forget to begin and end it, because well actually no, you don't need to do that. Hold on a second. Oh right. So if you're going to use the shape renderer from the dog runner, you have to end the batch. So basically there are these two kinds of things that draw. One draws like pictures, like the ones that you get from like the files and stuff, like these kind of pictures. The other one draws like shapes, but you can't have both of them running at the same time. So the way you kind of run or initiate them is to call their begin method, as like shown here. and then you have to make sure you end them before you use the other one. So like you can't exactly draw shapes and like textures at the same time. So that's just something to know. And this is mainly for debugging. So most of the times we will not use these kind of things because they look very unprofessional. I mean, I really could figure out like, oh, draw a circle, then draw 2 rectangles inside. But that don't look very good, does it? Forget. So we were doing the pause button and we were drawing. Okay. So, right. Wait, why was I doing this again? So it's a texture. And then, oh, okay, here's actually a good thing. So there's this texture region game object, and it already automatically draws it for you. So if you want, you can just extend that and then handle your own click methods. So I can, instead of extending game object, I can extend the texture region game object. And it's going to have a little bit of a thingy here. You're going to have to add this clause. And don't forget the comma and T region. So this will automatically draw the square where you want it to based on the height and width. And we'll define that in the screen, not here. So this is all really that needs to happen for now. And Sam's like pseudocode is really bugging me. And I really want to delete it, but I'm just going to leave it there. So let's see. I don't really need that import statement. Okay, so draw. Do I really need to draw? No, I can just do click then, actually. So public void click. Or actually, should I still have that override? Public void click. The grammar is so important. What's up, guys? So this is like part 2, but it's not really going to be part 2 because I'm actually going to stick this and append this to the end of the other video. So I kind of just ran out of time there, and then yeah. So anyways, I actually modified the game object a little bit to have it enabled and stuff. So basically, only me and experienced programmers should touch abstract classes, okay? Because when you modify an abstract class, you're going to modify like everything. So don't modify abstract classes unless you know exactly what you're doing. So anyways, I added enabled, and this basically is just a Boolean marker, and it's just like, okay, you know, are you enabled or not? So, alright, do I need to actually get method? Yeah, I probably should get, like, is enabled, okay. And then this will return enabled. Yeah. And then also write good comments. Yeah, basically just let people know what you're doing. So this actually, the blue actually, right, is a Javadoc, and if you go and to window and show view Javadoc, you'll be able to see that actually for this, that you actually have like a Java documentation, and like you'll basically be able to understand what this thing pretty much does. And I'm the author, so yeah, it's fantastic. It's like me written everywhere. So yeah, basically I don't really have to write anything. It just returns whatever thing. Okay. So yeah, and then if you feel like within the method you need to comment some more, you can just do the regular // and the multi-comments are like this. Okay, so I modified the game object to have the is enabled, and when it's disabled, none of the other methods like animate up, animate down, clicked will be called. The collision will still be called, apparently. I don't know why I did that, but I was too lazy, so I just made the collision just as it is. But yeah, anyways, I found a new way kind of to use the to do buttons that kind of switch, because like to have it, I want the pause button to disappear when it gets clicked, and then just have the play button appear, because it doesn't make sense to have both really. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have that enable thing going, and I will also need to query them for clicked. So I'm going to modify my pause button, and my previous approach was kind of wrong. So boolean clicked equals false, so clicked equals true. And then I need to be like, okay,
let's see, how do I name this? Because here's the thing, I want it to be like, okay, if I query the click, then like, I want it to basically disable. So basically it's like, rather than having this button call its parent screen that contains the button, I want it to basically, the parent, like the screen, to just be like, oh, hey, have you been clicked? you know, like before the last time I queried you. So like after I check if you've been clicked, I want to say, okay, I've already checked it, so you can just pretend that you haven't been clicked. And then the next time, if the user clicks it again, then this way I'll know if like it has been clicked between my checks, basically. So I guess I can just say
query clicked. And write good documentation, because then nobody will understand what you're doing here. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna do this again so that this way it's like, so it has the @returns. It's pretty convenient. So return. So if, I guess I need to make it temporary boolean. Boolean temp equals clicked. Return temp. But then I want to say clicked equals false every time. And there we go. What did I do wrong? Did something wrong? Oh, yeah. I don't know why I was doing that override. By the way, it's actually not required. You can just delete that if you want, but like it's just nice to have that like that. So, and my Javadoc still open. Okay. So it returns whether or not if this object has been clicked since last query. And that's pretty much it. And of course, this will also affect the actual click thing. So. Okay, so then I'm going to do the same thing for the other button, but first I have to make sure that, all right, the texture region is going to be passed in already. Oh, wait, never mind. I don't need to pass in this texture region, because I'm really just getting this texture region from the, wait, actually, how would I do this? Because then I would have to, right, but then fairies wouldn't actually be declared yet. Oh, wow, that's actually pretty intense. Okay, so maybe what I'll do is, yeah, I'll actually reuse this class for both the play. So I have two instances of this class, and I'm going to rename it so that it's not as confusing. What do you call it, like play pause? That's like called, I guess that's like, oh yeah, and we do need a countdown after this, don't we? So I guess I'll have someone program that. So let me think. So this is called let's see. This is a button. Yes, it's a button that will either pause or play the game. So this is like the 2-in-1 button. Yes. Oh my god, this naming is so hard. Well, how do you name a button that can both be a played and a pause? I guess I'll just call this a query button, like, so that you can really use this for anything. So pretty much it's like this will keep track of whether the game object has been clicked since last check, and also delete this. Don't need that anymore. Well, what else does it do again? I can't remember. Wait, did I drag in the resume yet? Oh yeah, here's the resume PNG. Okay. Wait, did I register? I can't remember if I did. I think I registered when I didn't register. Okay. Yeah, that's me. Like I go all over the place. Okay, let me just finish this comment first. Has been clicked since last check, and also draws a texture. Yeah, so basically this will have like some kind of like sprite or some kind of image that it displays, and then it would also be able to like have that kind of thing where, okay, so like the user clicks this button, and then I check, have you been clicked? And it's like, yeah. But then the next time I checked it with the query and click, it's going to say no, because I already checked that it's been clicked. So that's basically how it's going to work. And this is just useful because like the user might pause and like play the button a bunch of times, like pause and then, so then each time I don't want to have to keep setting the boolean. So like if I just say like, oh, every single time I check, just make it false, then pretty much like once I handle that, I don't need to handle it again, because after like you pause it, like I don't need to pause it again. I'm just waiting for the resume. So then I just wait until the resume has been clicked, and then it's just going to work out. So image. Oh, yeah, by the way, there might be some teleportations in this, and I think like this actually used to be called pause, but then I called it image, and definitely teleported. So there's some like wizard magic going on here. Okay, what should we call this? It's a resume PNG, right? And a placeholder. So if you were wondering like why I copied placeholder so many times, it's because, well, there might be eventually some things that we're going to actually use and not be called a placeholder. So this is not final, and I want other people to actually try to propose their own images in this. Because wouldn't it be great, like you publish a game and you're like, hey, look, I drew that. Or hey, look, I stole that off online and it's copyrighted. Now the whole game development club is screwed because I didn't tell Derek. Yeah, so pretty much, yeah. That's that. And then the query button's done. So now we will actually go to the main survival screen. under the screen package, and we will create two thingies basically. Okay, I'll just create this under here, private query button, and then we're going to call this the pause button, and then the private query button, play button. So the play button will have to be disabled, obviously. And let me think what order they should be drawn in. So, what order should they be drawn in? So the play button should be above the, well, actually if I disable them, that'll be okay. But the play button should be on the very top, I believe. And let me see. Click handler, click handler. I remember I actually had a problem with this once, where like I drew everything and then like the click handler was like obfuscated or something, and it was so bad. I don't think I have that problem anymore. Now I'm trying to remember. Is it that the things I add, like if I add an actor, does that get like called before the other actor if I add after, or does this one have more priority? Because like it's like a layer when you add these kind of actors. So like the one on top is going to get called first, and then it's going to go deeper and deeper into the screen basically. So it's kind of like you have layer one, and then behind that you have another layer. Like that also is kind of a concept with like when you're creating images and stuff. So I will need to figure that out. How do I do that? Yeah, that's a good question. Let me see if I can just open up the documentation. No, there's no documentation. You screwed me over. I think there's supposed to be actually the source code, but I didn't like give it like post the source code, so you won't be able to see it. But like it is online after all. But I didn't like package it into the lib. But there is a source code for it. Let's see. Okay. So should I just go with my gut here? Okay. Well, I mean, eventually I'm going to figure out like whether or not if it works or not. So let's just put a big pause button, and let's just like put it in the center of the screen. I'm definitely gonna have to change that query button. Let's just say meter height. No, meter height. Meter width divided by 2, and then meter height divided by 2. Okay, then the height. Bang, bang, ba, bang. Okay. Which ones did I say? Oh, the meter height is actually. Okay, well, right now I'm trying to make sure I don't get confused between the height and the width. Because, like, I'm thinking, okay, so, like, because, like, this is tilted. So it's not, like, a portrait, it's landscape. I have to think how that works again. Okay, so I think it's the height, actually. Height divided by 10. I think this is going to be pretty big. What do you guys think? And then for the regions, it would just be like fairies. I mean, no one ever saw that. No, it's not fairies anymore. Oh my god. Okay, dog runner, dog. No, okay, dog run. Oh, I forgot the capitalization. Okay, asset manager dot. Okay, let's just see what happens now. Oh, nothing. It didn't even draw. Fantastic. What did I do wrong? Oh, I forgot to add it. I'm like failing right now. Now it should be good. Yeah, there's a big button here. Okay, so it seems like as if it's behind the car that's being drawn. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait, why isn't this in center? Oh, right, because I forgot to actually calculate the center. So if I want it to be centered, I have to do this. It's just some mathematical calculations. Pretty simple. So when I get to click, let me just system out that front line. And I'm going to move this down a little bit so that I will actually be able to see where it is. So the height, I think I'm going to decrease it a little bit more down, maybe just, well actually maybe I'll go up, yeah. So then this way it would just be like right on the center at the top. Oh, it seems like as if I add it on afterwards, it's going to be later on top. That kind of makes sense. So like the most recent added is going to be at the very top. Okay, I see. Well, I was actually going to place it somewhere very close to the thing. So let me just move this around and then I'll be able to query it and actually pause the game. But at that time, of course, I won't actually be able to resume the game yet, but you know, testing. And that's another thing. You don't want to like write a lot of code and just test it and it just fails. That's the worst. Okay, so we want the height to be around the meter height divided by 2 minus. I wonder if I can simplify this somehow. Maybe like multiply 5 on top and bottom. So then it would just be like 4 times that. Okay, no, that's not simplified at all. Wait, is it though? Because if you think about it, then this would really just be 5 times that, but then I guess it's kind of the same thing. Okay, never mind. I was just doing simplification of fractions in my head. Okay, so this should just be this, I think. Or at least that's how I envisioned it to be. Let's see, where is this now? I think it should be on the side, right? Oh my god, I failed. I failed at mathematics. Okay, wait, why is there this big thingy that says that's not being used? Oh, yeah, I'll add in the play button very shortly. Okay, so yeah, it's right there, as like I expected. Why is it not center? It should be center. Something wrong. I did something wrong. No, this should be. Is it plus or is it minus? Yeah, I did something wrong. That's really weird because like I think it should work, right? Half and then minus meter divided by meter height divided by 10. Yeah. So why is it? Maybe I do 2 times this, so then maybe I just do divide by 5. That's a good question. Where's this gonna go? Oh my god, math fail. I'm failing math right now. Okay. Uh-oh. What went wrong here? Maybe it's something to do with the text resolution filter. Or maybe I should just cast this as an integer. Maybe that will fix it. Yeah, I think that might fix it. That's okay. No, that didn't fix it. Okay, that's okay though. I'll just like keep it there. That's fine. That doesn't look too bad. Okay. So when we click that button, we want to pause the game, right? So let's create a boolean that says okay. So game paused is false. So we can set it here as game paused equals false. Okay, and then whoops, I wasn't supposed to put that there, I don't think. So let's see. So actually the show is also somewhere you also want to set some defaults because like there's a couple of stages. So there's like the actual initiation of the screen, and then there's a point where it actually gets shown. So there's some things that you don't want to touch when the screen just gets initialized. Like for example, you can set up your own camera, but when you actually want to modify the draw stuff, that's actually in show because that's right before like it's actually going to be shown. Otherwise, you might mess up and mess with other screens and how they are displaying. So just before you're supposed to display, you should change how the displaying is like dealt with, pretty much. And then dot set enabled false. That's pretty important so that they can't click it again. Okay, so yeah, stay tuned for part 3. Guys, part 3, I'm in the house again. Okay, so I'm going to make this really snappy because I don't want to make this faster than or slower than 30 minutes, or actually it's probably going to be 40 minutes, but anyways, so I just like programmed the rest of the code and I'm going to show it, and then at the end I'm going to do a demo so everybody who wants to in the club can basically just watch the end of the video if they want to know what's been going on. Let's see, what was I going to say? Okay, so anyways, I'm recording without a microphone. Usually I just put on the Apple earbuds, but for some reason they still actually are really sensitive and they capture like click sounds and like mouse sounds and like click and mouse sound are the same thing, but anyways the keyboard sounds. So then I don't even know why I'm talking really fast, but yeah, let's just go. Okay, so I realized that actually the stage and libgdx, they already have the whole entire kind of library for like disabling and enabling objects like game objects. So since the game object's already an actor, as you can see here, we can really just call the set visible and set touchable, and this is pretty obvious what it does, right? So like a set touchable is like, oh, can this be clicked, and then set visible is just like, okay, well, can you see this? So like maybe you can't see it but you can still click it, or vice versa, or something like that. But yeah, that's basically what I did. So to make this work, I basically split up 2 kinds of actions. So in the render, it both has its render methods like afterwards. So this part is the actual part that renders, and then like the part where they need like acting is like here. And acting is because they actually need time. As you can see here, the only thing that really needs time is this, and I'm going to change that in the future. But these are the things that actually use time to basically make it work and to actually like make the cars move and stuff like that. And then after the cars move like their position, then they're drawn in afterwards, basically. And let's see, what was I gonna say again? So yeah, basically that's that. And let's see, I changed some of this code. Well, actually, I think that was just for testing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So anyways, for the presentation of what the game is like, this is what the game is like now. So I added 6 lanes so that it would be oh whoops. And then now you see you can pause it and you can just resume right there. See, it's amazing, right? You just pause it and then resume. Oh yeah, and then I also changed the hitbox a little. As you can see, it's like scraping the car a little bit. But eventually a car should come over here and hit us. But I don't know exactly when it's gonna come over and hit us. So we can just wait. And there you go, it hit us. Alright, thanks for watching the video. If you're a programmer and you haven't watched the whole video, well then you're kind of screwed unless you know what you're doing. And maybe I'll put some like annotations so that you can like just learn the stuff that you need to. But yeah, anyways, I am signing off and no longer in the house. Well, until in my house. Bye. Thanks for watching.